Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Short-Term Rental Pacifier, where we break down real estate tips, tricks, and strategies to make your short-term rental not only more fun and profitable, but also purposeful. I'm your host, Landon Smith, and today we're going to look at a question that I get asked all the time. How do I grow from where I am right now? How do I go from having no properties or maybe one property or just an idea to creating a real estate portfolio with sustainable income? I have a math equation I like to use: U plus how plus Y divided by where minus when equals financial freedom. But let's be clear, I got 2 D's in college. One was in algebra and the second one was when I retook algebra. So while the equation is probably wrong, the methodology has been right for me. And what I'm about to tell you came from a bunch of mistakes that I've made. And since I'm awesome at screwing things up, but also don't quit, you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. Because it's going to be hard. Anybody who tells you it's going to be easy is lying to you. It's going to be hard, but it can also be fun and hard. And nothing is worse than that empty feeling when you reach a goal you've been working really hard because there was no why or purpose behind it. And so segment 1, understanding your starting point. And I want to start with something really important. It often gets overlooked. It's your unique situation. There's no one size fits all in real estate, and your journey is going to look different from someone else's. And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face: there's more than one right way. I could put a different variable in my story and it would change everything, just one variable. And so, but this is an example of what's so fun about what we get to do with our clients. So I recently had a conversation with my friend Amy, who's also, she's a client, she's a friend. And this is a perfect example. She came to me after going through a tough divorce. She'd worked hard to build up a real estate portfolio, but after her separation, she was left with just one property. It's a solid property, great location, makes money, but she wants to do more. She has some big goals, but they're not really clear. She wasn't sure how to take the next step to determine even like what the next step was. So she's asking, hey, should I develop something? Should I flip something? Should I buy land? How do I even get started? Because I don't think I have enough cash. All great questions. And again, there's no single right answer, but it does depend on where you are and where you want to go. So before we talk about how, where, when, let's talk about why. And that's kind of the second piece of this. It's the power of knowing your long-term vision. The most important thing is having a clear long-term vision. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? How do you want to operate? Stop thinking or talking about passive income, lifestyle flexibility, and start thinking about how you want to operate. Everybody wants passive income and lifestyle flexibility. But why does it matter? Because reaching your goal, financial goal without purpose, is empty. And reaching it only to find that your daily life still has you doing things you don't want to do is empty. Not having a clear goal has you always chasing more money and not knowing when to stop grinding and actually start enjoying. Again, all things I learned the hard way. So I asked my client how she wanted to operate. She didn't quite get it. So I said, look, if you ask me, it's very simple. I want to be busy, but I want to have fun. I don't want to be rushed. I value faith, family, freedom. At the granular level, I enjoy planting trees, blowing leaves off a driveway. I wanted to check on properties from a wave runner or a boat. And knowing those things about myself dramatically affected what kind of properties I did or didn't purchase. And that may not resonate with you, but it doesn't matter because we can both be investing in the same thing for very different reasons. And all of mine had to be somewhere I could go with family. That ruled out plenty of other properties. It forced maybe some lower ROIs that I could have had, but ultimately, if it doesn't check the right boxes for me, then I don't do it. So when we get to that financial freedom, at least we had a lot of fun along the way, and the goal has more purpose than just money, which makes the goal, at least for me, enjoyable. So my friend agreed that it was very important. She hadn't thought about it. So I said, hey, go think about this seriously, but we can also do this concurrently, with what I think is the next step based on your situation. And that brings us to the third part, creative financing. I like to call it becoming your own bank. So one of the most common roadblocks for people, obviously, is the money. How do I fund the next step when I feel like I don't have enough cash? This was the case with my client, with my friend. She saw some potential opportunities, but she wasn't sure how to leverage her current property to make those opportunities a reality. So we dove into that concept of how to become your own bank. And here's one way to do it. I recommended that she talk to a specific loan officer that had a very special financing product, and it's called an all-in-one mortgage. It's essentially a first position HELOC. And this isn't a typical HELOC because, one, it's in first position, meaning it replaces your current mortgage. In addition to being available on an investment property, Here's why it's a big game changer. You have interest-only payments. So instead of your traditional principal and interest PITI structure, you're only paying interest, which dramatically increases your monthly cash flow. It might sound scary to some people, especially after 2008, but it's not the same. The key here is that it doubles as a line of credit, so you have access to your equity and there's not some balloon payment. The other thing about it is with that interest-only payment, it increases cash flow. So with this product, she would immediately increase her cash flow by about $1,000 a month just by restructuring her existing debt. This gives her more options, whether that's reinvesting or paying off other debts or saving for the next property. But in this case, every additional dollar of principal paid down will also result in less interest, which continually increases her cash flow because the interest is only charged on what's being drawn. So the flexibility of this type of loan, it adjusts with the market, and interest rates have been coming down, which experts believe they will continue to do so. And I have one of these myself, and my rate has actually come down 2 points in the past couple months. So big takeaways from this: if you're responsible with your finances, this can be incredibly powerful. Reducing debt's always a good thing, but it's difficult when you need the reserves. So this product allows you to do that, access your equity, increase cash flow, and what you save in interest is more than what you would earn in a traditional savings account. All that to say, it's an amazing product, but it requires financial responsibility. It's kind of like a Ferrari. It's amazing, but it can kill you if you don't know how to drive it. So segment 4, overcoming the overwhelm. One of the issues my client was having was just being overwhelmed when she looked at all of the options in front of her, developing, buying more land or buying an existing house, refinancing her current home. It felt kind of paralyzing, and it's something I see all the time, and I've experienced it myself. But you don't have to do it all at once, and you shouldn't. If you're able to reach your goal in your 5 to 10 year goal in a couple months or even a couple years, you're probably not dreaming big enough. And the best way to tackle big goals is by just breaking them down into smaller, what's the next right thing type of steps. For my client, the next right step was securing that refinance loan, defining how she wanted to operate, and then increasing her cash flow. All good things. And once we got those in place, we can focus on the next move. Maybe that's buying a new property. Maybe it's investing in a development, but it doesn't have to happen all at the same time. And I see this a lot in real estate. And I experience myself. People get so caught up in the big picture that they forget the next step is usually pretty simple. In my career, I've bought properties just because they were good deals and a stepping stone, knowing that they weren't, a part of my long-term vision. And sometimes it's okay to take advantage of a short-term opportunity if it helps you get closer to your ultimate goal. Just know why you're saying yes and know why you're saying no. And so the last piece, the importance of that vision in your real estate strategy. I just want to reemphasize this. There's more than one right way to do things. And what worked for me might not work for you. And what works for one of my clients might not be the best path for another. But that's the beauty of real estate. It's flexible and there are always options. So when you know your vision, you know what your resources are, you find out what your risk tolerance is, you'll see that the possibilities are actually kind of endless. Maybe you start with a small single family home. Maybe you jump into a multifamily property or you start developing land. Each path has its own risks and rewards, but the key is really just choosing the one that aligns with your goals in your situation. So to kind of wrap everything up, we started with a simple question: how do I move forward? And the answer is, it depends. It depends on your situation, resources, and your vision, where you want to go, how you want to operate. So if you're looking to restructure your finances or buy your next property or develop something new, this is the first step on getting clear. Where do you want to go? From there, it's all about one next right step at a time. For my client situation, it was pretty simple. Become your own bank, boost cash flow, and define that bigger picture and how you want to operate. So maybe your situation will be similar. Maybe it'll be completely different. Either way, we love helping people figure this out and seeing them succeed. It's awesome. And it's been amazing to watch how this has changed lives. Because if it's not fun, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't serve a higher purpose, I'm out. So that's it for today. If you got value out of this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with anyone who you think might find it valuable. And if you have questions, need help figuring out your next move, please visit us at www.AirINN.life. That's AIRINN.LIFE and send us a message. Take care. We'll see you next time.